Jane Campion, Ava DuVernay, Agnes Varda, Chloe Zhao, Greta Gerwig, Kathryn Bigelow. These are names of female filmmakers that most people know. A name less familiar? Dorothy Arzner, a trailblazer and one of the most important and overlooked figures in Hollywood history. A studio-era pioneer, Arzner made 20 films in a rapid period of time, with female characters often at the centre of the narrative and displaying agency, with legends like Katharine Hepburn, Lucille Ball, Joan Crawford and Clara bringing the characters to life.
My name's Chelsea O'Brien and I'm a curator at ACMI. Dorothy Arzner was a hugely important voice in Hollywood's golden age because she was the only female director working from 1934 to 1943. Her voice and her perspective was incredibly important because she created characters, female characters, that were complicated, full characters, real women. She was interested in independent women. She was interested in how they lived, the relationships between women, and she was also very supportive of women.
Getting her start working across various departments in the studio system at Paramount before becoming an editor on films like 1922's Blood and Sand, Dorothy Arzner made her directorial debut in 1927 with Fashions for Women, now a lost film, which was written by her longtime partner, Marion Morgan. As an openly queer filmmaker and the only female director active during Hollywood's golden age, she made feminist films like 1940's Dance Girl Dance, which challenged the male gaze and audiences with its story of supremely over-it burlesque dancers.
I know you want me to tear my clothes off so as you can look your 50 cents worth. 50 cents for the privilege of staring at a girl the way your wives won't let you.
The period of the business where we were shifting from silent films to talkies was one of great upheaval, both psychologically and technologically. Conditions in which Dorothy thrived, as she was a groundbreaking problem solver.
Dorothy Arzner sort of famously invented the fishbowl mic, or the boom mic. That was on the set of The Wild Party, where she was working with a fantastically physical actress, Clara. She was so energetic and she liked to move around, and this was Paramount's first talkie, so of course she needed to be stationary in front of a microphone, and so she got incredibly nervous. Now Dorothy, being the thrifty and genius filmmaker that she was, decided, I know, I'm going to rig a microphone on a fishpole, and that'll mean that she can walk around the stage, she can be really physical, not lose any of her performance and not be nervous by the microphone. And while she didn't patent the boom mic, it became the boom mic, and that's what many filmmakers, all filmmakers, use today for sound recording.
It's actually a historic beat that's captured in Damien Chazelle's divisive Babylon. Olivia Hamilton plays one of the few female filmmakers working during Hollywood's golden age, a character called Ruth Adler, who battles trying technical conditions, sexism, and a boisterous female lead in Margot Robbie's Nellie Leroy, right at the crucial shift from silent films to talkies.
Action. Cut, Mr. Marknell.
Oh.
It's...
Yeah, I don't know, I felt like a little lighter on my feet that time. I feel like I should come further into
the microphone is... All right, hey, Lloyd.
Yeah?
Can we just move the mic a little deeper in the room?
Seem familiar? The part is said to be inspired by not just Arzner, but fellow female filmmaker Alice Guy Blanche, who was also active during the period, albeit on a different continent. Dorothy retired from Hollywood in the 1940s, when she was still relatively young, and there have been plenty of theories as to why. The most compelling being the enforcement of the Hays Code, which was actually introduced over a decade earlier, but progressive stories were still slipping through the cracks in the 30s, as the code was rarely enforced. A set of industry guidelines that censored what could be shown in motion pictures, the Hays Code banned everything from nudity, or even the suggestion of nudity, to a man and a woman being shown in bed together, to swearing, the use of alcohol and drugs, mocking the church, and even the depiction of interracial relationships.
There's this suggestion that actually it was because the industry was becoming a little bit more, closed. It was becoming more homophobic. It was becoming more misogynistic, and she just was no longer interested in the stories that she was going to be able to tell under this new Hays Code, or not so new Hays Code at the time.
Although the enforcement of the Hays Code meant Dorothy's capacity to work was pretty much non-existent, she retired early and went on to teach the next generation of legends as a professor at UCLA with students such as Francis Ford Coppola, and became the first woman to join the Directors Guild of America. There was a reclamation of her work by female film theorists in the 70s. She received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, the only award she ever officially won, had a building named after her on the Paramount lot, and was honoured with a retrospective at the first International Festival of Women's Films in 1972, which opened with a telegram from Katharine Hepburn that read, "Isn't it wonderful that you've had such a great career, when you had no right to have a career at all?"